And welcome back to Western Mass Turf. We are in our 11th episode of the live stream. Mike, welcome back. How are you?
Good. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. I was almost getting ready to getting eager to get the season started, and then it decided to snow. So
Yeah, I seen the
things on
pictures.
yeah. And this was a pretty weird storm. So out east there was hardly anything. It was more rain than anything. And then the further north you go from me, or the further west you go from me, you're looking at 8 inches to a foot of snow. So um,
Good
I
grief.
drove. Yeah, yeah. I drove 5 miles up to Belchertown, maybe 5 6 miles up to Belchertown today, and they had a good 8 inches of snow. So it was a little bit different from here in Ludlow. It was probably about, we got 4 inches, I would say. So fun.
Sounds
How's the
like it.
weather there?
Let's see. I woke up this morning with frost on the windshield. Had to scrape it. Sitting out there
Really?
in a long sleeve shirt, a sweatshirt, and a vest. And
Uh
then
huh.
by 1:30 this afternoon, I was in a t-shirt in which I wore shorts.
Oh, okay.
It went from 29 to like 64.
Unbelievable.
Hey, I can't
Yeah.
get the YouTube to pull up.
Drastic. Huh?
I can't get the YouTube pull up on my end.
No. Oh.
Nope.
So there
There it
was.
goes. There it goes. I got it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and there I had an upcoming. I tried the very first time the upcoming live stream on YouTube, and it doesn't seem to want to sync
Yeah, it
with
didn't want to
the
sync for some reason.
no. So anyway, I'll probably end up deleting that, and just fine. It's fine. Hi Chuck. Hi Dan. How are you? Welcome. So today I got
Oh,
all the.
Dan
Go
told me
ahead.
one since he's
What's
here,
that?
he's listening. So he ran some of his warm season grasses. He had three of them that he told them to water in. Well,
Uh huh.
apparently they didn't water in, and well, since he used sulfentrazone to try and control a nutsedge problem for a pre-emergent, he's got a little bit of tip burn going on.
Oh yeah. It happens to the best of us. I think,
Talk to him.
and so yeah, and so that's one of the discussions I want to have tonight is what the customers do, right? And so you hire a professional service. They got their pesticide license. They're well trained in it. You know, years of experience, and they ask you to do some pretty simple things, right? Just cultural practices like water this application in, right?
Right.
And and they don't do it, right? And then it becomes your problem. So I don't know. It's one of those things, the constants that we have in the green industry that can be pretty frustrating. So
That's
uh,
very
it's,
frustrating.
yeah, yeah, and one of the things that and I titled it, I got a cancel letter, and we got all our prepays out, and a lot. I would say 98% of the people positive response. Here's the check. They're good to go. Thanks for what you do. And then there's a small percentage of people that responded negatively to it. So, and that was expected. But when the amazing thing that I've noticed in my years of doing this is that the people that give you the hardest time, that you raise their price on them, they go away.
Oh, I know.
They go away.
I
And
sent
you
out
know what?
I just sent out the mass email for all my mowing clients. I was like, "Hey, how you doing? We just want to know, are you still going to be on board? Do you want us to continue doing mowing? You know, blah 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 blah."
Yeah.
Four of them said no because I know you're going up in price. I was like, okay, good. Didn't want you anyways.
Eh,
Didn't even put
Yeah.
an increase, a percentage increase, or anything about it.
Yeah, yeah, and
Trying to see who
no,
was on board.
sure, and and it's not to be spiteful. It's not to make $1 million off of anything. It's just it's the nature. I mean, everything costs a lot of money right now. So, I was talking to a few other professionals today. Mike, you're one of them. Mike Tiffway. Just the
Waterboy.
the the cost the cost of just even just repairing your equipment is just phenomenal, right? I mean, even
Oh,
just these
it's
tiny little plastic pieces cost like 80 to $100, and
okay, so the
the
valves on the Z Spray, the 3 for the controls, they're
yeah.
$60 a pop.
See,
Um,
there you go.
the slinger that slings the fertilizer, that's like
Mhm.
$100. I just had to replace a voltage regulator, $482.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
rebuilt the entire front end. I probably got another $1,000 in the front end of number 1 Z Spray.
mhm. Yeah, it's insane. It's insanely expensive. I mean, and so there, I think there's just this great disconnect, right, between a lawn care customer's expectation of price and results, and then what you're going to do. So,
Oh, I got
there's,
another one. I got a mower sitting
mhm.
right over here. Been waiting on an engine for it since May of last year.
There you go. Yep. Hmm.
4 grand for an engine.
Yeah. Yep. I know. Yeah, 4,000. I know. Dan says inflation on the rise. They think we can't raise prices, gas up, maintenance up, supplies up, for up. And they want the same price. No thanks. They can hire Chuck in the truck. Yeah.
He's
Well,
paraphrasing he's paraphrasing that one, but yes, Dan.
yeah, yeah, Dan, you're absolutely right, and try somebody else. Maybe, and God bless them. Then maybe that lower landscaper is just starting out. They don't have uh, they don't have a sense of what the cost of everything is, and God bless them. And I hope they learn quick. But coming around and underbidding a professional. I mean, good luck. Good luck is all I got to say because it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to get places fast if you're still out there doing the $40 application. Like, you know, I don't.
Right.
I haven't seen the $40 application in years. So
Oh, you should see all the flyers I got.
the flyers.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. I got one from Fairway. First application, 24.99 if you sign up for our program. Maximum square
yeah,
foot, 8,000 square feet. I'm like, well, that's not gonna work. That don't even come from my front yard.
right, right, right. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. So anyway, I guess so that was kind of the theme for tonight's discussion is the expectations and versus the cost of everything and I'll actually read the letter to you in a little bit that I put on the post there. But if a professional asks you to water the lawn, it's probably a good idea to water the lawn, right?
Yes. What say you, Dan?
Yeah, and and there's other things too. And expectations with the weather. So like in the environment, knowing your environment, and we here like just around just about everywhere in the country experience some pretty major drought conditions, right?
Oh, last
And
year, yeah.
yeah, I mean just weeks, months without any kind of rain and temperatures going up and low humidity. So there wasn't a lot of moisture in the soil at all. Maybe it was even windy too, which leads to some problems as well. And so with all those factors, if you literally give up irrigating the lawn, you can't blame your lawn care company.
No, you can't.
you know, it's just at least do something to even just keep it alive. Maybe give it something so it has a chance to bounce back when there's a change in the weather and cooler temperatures and finally some rainfall, right? But if you let something just dry down to the point of death, it's not going to come back. You're gonna
No.
the gray and the black, and you can see it just the wilt point just take over, and then it's not your lawn care company that's doing that. It's you know so.
Well, I was getting the YouTube. No, I'm not getting the YouTube chat.
Oh, really? Did the streams
Well,
interrupted?
I don't know. I made a comment and I ain't seen it show up yet.
Oh, really? Sometimes there's a pretty significant 20-second or 20 second something delay on the.
Oh no, this has been well over 2 minutes. Well, 8:40 and it's 8:44 now. So yeah, well over 4 minutes.
Oh, okay. I just double checked my other stream off of my phone, and everything's. I mean, it's playing live, so maybe there's just a delay in the chat.
Who knows?
It's weird. Well, let me try it out.
But no, I'm blocked from commenting. Probably. Ada done got in here and blocked me.
Yeah, Dad, you're probably right. I think, and that wasn't an executive decision on my behalf. I think that was the YouTube. Yeah,
Well,
that came in.
Jay Bart just asked. He said, "Did you get my message about polo?" And I was like, "No." Who knows?
Yeah, oh, yeah, nothing showed up here about Ron Swipe right up.
Well, now it's working.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, J Bart, I can see what you commented there. So I'll get into this, and I
Okay.
think,
I think it's working now.
yeah, it looks like it's working now. So this is a Chicopee customer. Now Chicopee is just notoriously known for sandy conditions. And granted, the price of irrigation in Chicopee is pretty high. So I give them the benefit of the doubt. But listen, just listen to how this is worded, and you give me your professional thoughts on this, would you, Mike? So, and this is addressed to me and Tuck. So, hi, Brent and Tucker. Sorry to see the uh, charges, which I didn't use. I don't use charges. I use changes or adjustments. So, in his brain already, seeing that the charges have gone up, I expected more from you on doing my lawn. Seems that the lawn has been getting worse for the last 2 years. I had referred 2 other customers to you. Their lawns have also gotten worse. That being said, I will no longer need your services. Thanks. Okay, cool. So, what I was getting to earlier is that this customer stopped watering the lawn during the drought. Okay, so sandy soil, fine fescue, bluegrass, 2 dogs, big dogs, tearing up the turf. And so now we have a drought problem and high traffic volume.
On Fine
And
Fescue at that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And so fine fescue and bluegrass, ryegrass lawn. So, right. So I
Where's Evie?
expected more,
Where, where's
right?
Evie when
So
we need
how,
him on Fine Fescue?
so how, I don't see how he's not on any, no additional applications, no fungicide applications, no, no liming, has never been limed since we taken on the property. And I know that area very well. It's very acidic. A lot of the areas, lawns in that area are under a pH of 5. So Yeah. So
Good
yeah,
lord.
4.8s, 4.7s. Yeah. So never limed it. Has been always offered liming to be part of his program, and detailed notes on how to irrigate and how to keep things going, even just minimalistically, just how to keep things alive. So um, and it's just the also the kicker on that. So I never appreciate anybody that brings in another customer, right? So I gave you two more customers, and theirs is doing the same thing. So
He didn't give you 2 customers. They had to agree
right,
to your price first.
sure, exactly. And here's the kicker, Mike. I know who those two customers are. Uh, they're already prepaid for the season. So
And they are watering correctly.
and they are watering correctly. Matter of fact, there's one that has a hard time with it. I understand, but the other one, um, does and listens and prepaid for the season and is happy with our services and has continued without any complaints. No service calls or anything. And I do believe they've, well, at least one of those other ones has added liming to their program, which has made a pretty significant difference in how the lawn is. So
Oh,
I
it
figured
definitely
I'd.
will over time, will.
What's that?
I said the lineman over time will.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you. And this is it's not to pick on this particular customer. He's a fair enough guy. Maybe a little too few complaints for Tucker here and there every once in a while, but um, it's just and it's the psychology of a customer. And don't get too wound up about it. I know he was trying to push the burden of fault on the lawn care company. So if you're new to lawn care, this, you're just trying to figure something out about, and you get a response like that, don't take it personal. Maybe when I first started, if I read something like that, I'd be pissed, be real pissed. And right now, at this point, it's not worth it, right? It's not to get angry. We've still retained those two other customers. It's so that was just kind of what I was getting at. I know your reaction would be a little bit different. Like, what are your thoughts of that?
Just a little. One, knowing the conditions that you've told me about, knowing that we had this massive drought last year. I mean, when we went to Louisville, it's supposed to be rolling greens of KBG and fescue and all. It was solid fucking brown everywhere I looked.
Uh, yeah,
So that there tells me, okay, well, if yours is checking, I mean, hell, my damn Bermuda checked out in October.
yeah.
It said, "Fuck it, I'm done." Uh,
Hmm.
90% of my yards checked out, except even my irrigated yards. Like I was going by weekly, but I mean, I was maybe cutting every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks on a as needed.
Uh-huh.
Guy like that right there. Honestly, I just want to say, you know what? Fuck you. You
Yeah.
don't deserve me. You don't deserve this. Hell, call fucking True Green. Let them take care of your yard.
Yeah, and so I feel that way too. I'm not really mad. I know my thumbnail made me like I'm angry about I'm
Eh, we've
it's
been
not
in
it's
it
not
long enough. We know.
yeah, 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 definitely. And when and I was actually because he's and you know what, no harm no foul to me. This guy always paid on time. He was never a prepay guy or whatever. And he would write us a check, give Tucker a check right there. So I wasn't chasing down payments from him. It just the way he worded it, he kind of just like he took it off his shoulders and he was putting it on ours. And I'm the now whatever.
It's pretty much he's going, well, I'm sorry I didn't water, but for some reason it's your fault because I didn't water.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
no, no, the fuck is not my fault.
sure, yeah, yeah, and and there's always opportunities for seeding, and we discussed putting in healthier, more drought-resistant cultivars, but it's still gonna require watering and just never took any of that. Just basic ass program,
And 2 big
just
ass dogs is high traffic too. I mean, come on now. What do you expect?
yeah. And, to be honest, when I remember I took over the first time I saw the property myself was in, I think, 2019 or 2020 or whatever it was. And it had a pretty significant violet problem, like significant, like a violet field. And I was there helping Tucker on the last round in October, I believe. I probably saw one violet. Like we wiped out an entire violet field for this guy.
Not bad.
Yeah, in 3 years. And so the forest from the trees, I guess. So
My favorite one is people calling me now this time of year going, "I got these, prickly little things in my yard." I'm like, "Oh, you got sandburrs." Like, "Okay, well, what do I need to do?" I was like, "Well, you should have called me in fall. That way I could put
yeah,
out the pre-emergent and go ahead and start treating this because it's gonna take all season long before this shit goes away."
yeah, yeah. I know. So there, a customer lives there, right? I mean, they are the ones that are present on the property all the time. Like that's where they live. That's what they see. There's and if they can't pick up a phone or send a text message, I prefer you pick up the phone. I want to discuss things with you. I don't want to text with you, but pick up a phone and tell me what your concern is. We can change that within 20. We can address that. We can't change everything, but we can address that within at least 24 hours or 48 hours, right?
Right,
So I totally agree with you. It's like you're the one that resides at the residence. You see something out of place. Okay, maybe you don't have a landscaper or a mowing crew that's close to me. You do it yourself, fine. But if you're out there mowing, let me know. Let us know so we can do something about it.
I had one last year send me a text with a picture right around their mailbox. I had massive amounts of nutsack. They're like, "Hey, what is this coming through the Bermuda?" I was like, shit." I was like, "Hang on, I'll be buying a little bit." So I went and bought a 1 gallon can, went ahead and pre-mixed the nutsedge. I said, "Every week when you get home after I mow, spray until it goes
Yeah.
away."
Yeah. And just being proactive, right? So just being proactive and instead of reactive. I get what you're saying there, and there's customers that I have that I know they have chronic issues, and I explain it that this is a chronic issue, and we're going to do the best we can with it, and I'll set up a follow up just on my own accord. I know where their concern is about that, and I'll do what I can to follow up and do it, and that's fine. You make a plan, but out of the blue, just you're like, you didn't say anything. You're sitting there fuming at the lawn care company, and you don't say anything, and then you get a bill for the next season, and you go, you know what? I think this is all your guys' fault.
Of course, it's our fault. We show up
Yeah,
3, 4, 5 times a year. Everything we do is always our fault. Not Mother
sure.
Nature, not the damn chuckle fucks in the truck, not the Filipinos, as Ray calls them.
Yeah, and and Tucker and I have worked together for a long time now. He is an excellent scout. I mean, he can scout chinch bugs and bill bugs, cutworms, army worms, grubs. I mean, him and we're funny because when we work together, there's just like two guys in their 30s just crawling around on their hands and knees on the lawn. You know.
You don't do like me, just throw the bucket of water out.
No, no, yeah, we're just old school. Just catch them on the
Comb,
edges.
comb right here, brush right here. Hey, I
Yeah,
found one.
yeah, yeah. I've never been a big fan of the tin can or the bucket test thing. I don't know. I could pull the grass apart and just go, oh, there they are. Okay, I found them.
I
Or they're
showed
not
up. I showed up for one. I just reached down, grabbed the grass, and it just all pulls up. I'm like,
there. Yeah. 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 I know. I know. Eh, grubs are fun. I'm sure you do this. You deal with grubs. I'm sure. And
I haven't dealt with them probably about 5 or 6 years running the program
really,
I'm running my
yeah.
insecticides.
Grubs are a huge issue up here. Eh, they're big. They suck. So, but it's funny. I'll be walking a property with a customer or or I'm working with somebody or whatever, and then and you hit a spot, right? You go like this, like what's the problem? And I'm like, oh no, and you like lock eyes with them. Oh no, they're like, what do you mean? And it's like, I'm gonna have to check this. What do you have to check? We have to check under my foot. And you pull it up, and it's like, oh no. So yeah, no, grubs can still be a problem. The use of acelepryn now has really helped. You gotta get the timing out right on that, but using acelepryn early has been
Oh,
good.
did you see Sulphur's going off patent?
Oh yeah, I don't
Yep.
know how long. How long?
I don't know how long it's going to be before it goes off patent, but it's going off patent soon.
Well, that's good. I mean, that costs an arm and a leg. So
Well, I mean, it's still going to cost a left nut when it comes off patent for a little
mhm.
bit, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. I think it's when I remember talking to somebody about it. It's going to be maybe last year.
I think it's going to be like June of 2024.
Really that soon? See, I
I think.
expected it another 5 years out from now.
No, I think it's 2024 is going off patent. If I remember what I read right, I have to go back and look.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, for it not being a neonicotinoid like a metocloprid, right? And so there's been a ban on a metocloprid here in Massachusetts. I mean, if you
The
have a
whole
pesticide,
Northeast is going that way. They're banning it.
yeah, yeah, and so I mean, if you have a pesticide license, you're still allowed to use that. Um, And when I get later in the year, I do. I honestly, I still have to use imidacloprid. I mean, it's just for timing wise with our customer base. It's practical for me to do. I requires a lot more scouting, obviously, and because it's been used for so long that
The
but we use it
resistance
in
is
a
there.
granular form. It's not as it's we're not throwing out liquid imidacloprid out there, and so anyway, that's my take on it. I do like the acelepryn. I do. Um, it's just for timing for me, it makes it tricky. And Lushy has a different perspective on that. I know he's willing to go out in June and use it there. I don't feel comfortable with it, with the cost of it, and then what you have to use to correct it, and the cost of Dialox or something like that, and you
Right.
or Arena or something like that, and just I don't know. So I don't know. I just keeping an eye on the timing and the weather and all those things are important. So I'm impressed that you don't deal with grubs down there. That's interesting to me.
Yeah, the rotation of me running Demand CS, Bifenthrin, Acelepryn, Lambda, um, Patrol, and a few other active AIs,
Hmm.
and rotating that throughout the season and throughout the years.
Hmm. Okay.
Because every treatment that I do, I throw an insecticide in.
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want I don't want I don't want a callback, and I don't want the 2020 armyworm infestation coming back again and bite me in the ass.
So you encountered a lot of those, right? You army
I
worm.
had 39 accounts get hit and completely wiped out.
Okay. Very few for me. I had other companies in the area um, that had problems with it. We would discuss, like you and I discussed, just shooting shit about grass, and maybe telling me, "Oh man, I got 20 accounts with Army Worms." I had like 3 or 4, and
Yeah,
it was
mine was
very
so bad it was overnight. Like when
really
I showed up the next day, it was completely toast.
wow. Yeah, I don't. That's bizarre to me. Maybe it was the timing. Maybe I don't know. I can't figure it out.
I don't know, but I know 2020 was the year of that, and it was just ugh.
But, and there was weather pattern changes and all kinds of
Yeah, we had
weird
a
shit.
very wet, humid summer too.
Right, right,
Like
yeah.
middle of August, we were still getting like thunderstorms once a week.
Well, I mean, so like 2021 and 22 were like just polar opposites of one another, right? So like we had in 21, it rained every day of the month of July, just about, and and it was literally the opposite. Never rained once between pretty much late June, well into early August.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, yeah. Welcome everybody that's logging on now. While Busy's checking, I can say, hi Ray, thanks for joining us tonight. Dustin, Lon Maverick, Jay Bart, awesome. I'm glad you're here. Good to see you all.
Chuck.
Yeah, yeah. So very cool. Thanks for tuning in. And if you um, missed earlier that we're just discussing customer interactions and expectations and things like that. So we also have another guest tonight that is showing up right now, and that is Zach with Green Castle. Hi, Zach. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing, Brent?
I'm well, thanks. I'm well. Hey, thanks for joining us tonight.
No, I guess I got in at the right time.
You did. You did. Yeah.
You got
So,
here just in time.
It's always just in time. What you guys were talking about customer expectations and communication,
yes, we were. We were.
how horrible customers can be at communicating.
You got it.
That's right.
We haven't went that far just yet.
Well, but you know what's going there. Come on.
Of course.
Yeah.
We was waiting on you.
Waiting on me. How frustrated I get with people that don't communicate, even though you beg them to. And you're only at their property, 4, 6, 7 times a year. And so all you got to do is call, and then they're mad at you for some dumb reason. Then all they had to do is call you.
Well, that's exactly what I said, Zach. That was probably word for word what I was expressing is that they live there, they see the lawn every day, and you're there.
365 days a year.
Right.
Hello. No, I had to deal with a couple this year that were unhappy. You know, like you did this, you did that. I'm like, you're a recent enough customer. I emphasize communication, right?
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not a true green. I'm not a fly by night guy, but it's a team effort, and you need to do your part too.
Absolutely. So I don't know if you probably were just getting home or logging on the computer, and one of the title of this is I got a cancel letter, and I don't get very many cancels, but this particular customer decided that he wasn't going to water the lawn through the drought that we had this year.
Mm-hmm.
And when he got the renewal letter this year, he kind of somewhat sternly said that this is your fault. I'm not renewing.
Is he? He's not irrigated. Well, I guess it doesn't matter if he's irrigated or not if he's not going to water. So. That's my take, and it's your fault, Brent. So
Yeah, right.
Those kind of customers, you know, if you had them a long time.
It was I think 6, going on 6 years probably at
That's
this
a
point.
pretty decent amount. I mean, it's
Yeah.
tough to live those, but sometimes you just take a deep breath and, you know, if you're really gonna not play on a team effort type, you know,
Sure.
plan, then it's not worth my time. And those ones are hard to swallow. Believe me, I'm there. It sucks getting a cancellation letter to what you did wrong, or you know, it's always awesome to hear how awesome you are and the good things you do, right? But in turn, it sucks when they don't communicate with you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And that was the thing is just, you know, and or not taking any of your recommendations. Just adding lime to your program, or in your case, it would be sulfur, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
just okay, I'm going to skip that part. Let's see how it goes. Where it's like, oh, this might actually be a critical step that you're missing here.
And I'm pushing a lot of sulfur applications this year just because, me and Ray have had this discussion about necrotic ring spot and summer patch here in Utah. And the old school way of like my suppliers, right, and the True Green, the volume lawn care guys, just say, just overseed it with rye. And it's masking the problem, right? You're never taking care of the problem.
Right.
So that I'm pushing it this year, hard. If you have necrotic ring, try to push a lot of my customers to get a pH test or soil test, right? But
sure, yeah, right.
One of the ones that was not happy, part of his driveway had necrotic, and he's like, well, I'm just not happy. It's just getting worse. And one of my techs said, go get this granular fungicide from a local supplier, and I'm just cringing. Told to do that. I was like, of course, and let me guess, it did nothing for you. And he's like, exactly. So,
sure. Right. Yeah.
It's tough. That's the tough part. It's the tough part. I mean, that's one thing when I did maintenance for years. So you had control of everything. That is the one thing I miss about maintenance, because you're always on those properties every week.
Yeah.
But the rest of the employee stuff, the maintenance on the equipment, all the variables that can go wrong, I don't miss that one bit.
No. Yeah, and just fixing equipment on the fly, and it's one thing and something else. I know, I've been there myself.
Dealing with equipment, dealing with trailer tires, everything.
Yeah,
I'm going through that right now.
Are you? Yeah.
Yeah, I had 3 weed eaters this morning, just not want to fucking start for no goddamn reason at all.
Was it because of the
You
cold?
just went and bought new ones though, BB.
Well, yeah, I will. I mean, I got so pissed off, I threw one halfway across the damn yard, went and grabbed a brand new one that I had in the back of the truck. Said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not fixing this today.
I don't blame you.
Did you get video of that, BB?
No. I should have. I need to hire somebody to like follow me with a camera.
You should have.
All day long.
Well, Zach, we were
that'd be cool.
Mike and I were scheming last night. We were deciding on putting on a chest cameras for day-to-day operations, being out in the field, and how interesting Mike's content would be.
I know. Would it have to be like edited and blurb every other f bomb out of it?
We'll take a 2-hour.
Definitely would not be
down to 5 minutes. Yeah.
Definitely would not be PC.
It is never PC with me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be interesting for sure.
It would. Yeah.
So how's your season looking, Brent? When are you guys going to start? Because you're kind of by Lushy, right?
Yeah. Lushy, he didn't get any snow, and we did. And so about 5 miles north, which is a town that we do service, has about 8 to 10 inches of snow on it right now. And the town that I'm in, that I live in.
And I did talk to Lushy the other night. Thing.
What's that?
I said I did talk to Lushy the other night. He told me the same thing.
Yeah. It wasn't. I mean, there wasn't much going on his way, but I was getting excited starting the season, and then it decided to snow. How's your environment there now, Zach?
It's been a crazy winter. We've definitely been. I think we're saying 300% of average, which we need in a drought. 300 in some places too. Well, I'd say average 200%, but it's gotten so warm lately. We get these atmospheric rivers that they call them, right, coming from the south, and it's just been raining lately, and snow piles are just disappearing like crazy.
Yeah. When do you anticipate getting your guys out there?
I'm hoping by the 1st of April. Next week, it's still supposed to be a really wet week, so hopefully after that.
Okay. Yeah. That's my hope too. To get out there I was hoping to get some prodiamine applications down early, maybe even getting out and just sneak in a few lime applications in even before the official start of the season, I guess. But I don't know. What
How,
can you
now,
do?
how many customers do you do soil tests on? Actually, did those turn into lime applications?
Just about every one of them. I mean, we're really acidic here in Western Mass. Everybody's either like 5.5 or lower. So, um, very rarely do you ever come across a 6, just or a 6 or higher naturally. It does happen, but it's not that common.
Now in your area, always going to be a continuing
Yes.
program with lime, or will it ever stay where you want it?
You'll get a couple of seasons where it's gonna stay where you want it, but it's always going to be an ongoing thing for sure. And I have pages and pages of water tests and things, and we are dealing with acidic water here too. So
Which definitely is probably contributing to it.
oh, for sure, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, there are other tests like at a Quabbin Reservoir and stuff that things are more balanced out, right? There's like 6.5, 6.6, stuff like that. But other sources are definitely, even our groundwater or well waters are in the 5s, 5/8 and stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. So we always joke, just everybody in Massachusetts, that you need one of those like crop dusters for lime, and just go over entire communities and
BB
spread
is
it
an airplane in the near future.
out.
Yeah, I
Crop
mean,
duster?
my uncle owns a plane, but it's not a crop duster.
Put that on the to-do list, the to-buy list.
Yeah, a couple welds here and there, a little duct tape. You can manage.
A zip tie or two,
Yeah, zip tie.
a few self tappers. We're good to go.
I believe in you, BB.
Oh, trust me, I'll be buying something. So the Ag Pro, like right down the road from the house, is sitting there with like $1 million fucking combine right now, and I'm like, wonder what I could do with that.
Yeah.
Do I need it?
If
No.
it
Do I want it?
disappears,
Yes.
So I know, Zach, you have to add sulfur to your program. And I'm not very familiar with it because I'm on the other spectrum, right? I'm trying to raise everything up, and you're trying to bring everything kind of back to neutral. Is that something that you do in the spring or the fall, or you do all season? Like, could you do that in the summer too?
well, I had this big discussion with Ray, and that what I'm going to do this year on lawns that can be, and most lawns here are irrigated. They'll never survive without irrigation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do sulfur DF with a mix of citric acid, which is basically a solution, right? Instead of a granular.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And of course, the minute I'm leaving, my guys are leaving.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you can. That's something that you
I
can
mean,
definitely.
say that one more time, Brent.
So that's something that you can definitely get away doing with, like, in summer months.
As long as you have the communication with your customers, what they do. Yes, it can be done.
Yeah. Okay. I was just curious. I
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm the guy that's putting dolomitic limestone out there. So
Right.
just curious about that.
And I was able. I just used an elemental sulfur on my lawn in the middle of the summer, which is 100 degrees, and I irrigated it with hose sprinklers, and I had one area that got burned. I
Did it?
probably didn't
Yeah.
get enough water on it, but it came back fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah.
So Zach, when you getting that IC,
Getting what? Sorry.
the IC, the iron cutter?
Oh, the iron cutter or the Tahoma?
Yeah.
I need to. I need to. I need to. I need to get with the May more on that and talk about some variables if it's possibly going to happen.
Yeah,
I gotta.
mm,
Well, I don't know if Brent knows. Utah has a general ban on Bermuda grass. It's not specified what type of Bermuda, but there's only one county in the state of Utah. It's southern Utah. It's Washington County. It's right next to Nevada, and that's the only county that you lawfully can have Bermuda.
oh, really? Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Is it considered like a weed? Is that what
Yeah,
invasive?
it's on the noxious weed list.
Okay. Hmm. Yeah, Lushy and I would call that bent grass.
I had a
Call it
guy
what?
today
Sorry.
tell bent grass.
Bent grass. Yeah, we have bent grass everywhere here.
Oh, I've heard. Yeah, I've talked to Leshy.
Yeah.
Bent grass or Brent grass?
I mean,
Yeah. Big
Brent.
difference. Big difference.
We have some.
Uh,
Yeah, we have some
do
bent
you?
grass. In fact, I have a little in my yard. But nothing. The worst is the common Bermuda.
Yeah.
That invades the bluegrass of the tall fescue.
Sure. Mhm. Mhm.
Or
I
the
mean, like,
invade
so
the hybrid
it,
series of Bermuda.
Say that again, BB.
I said, or the common Bermuda trying to invade the hybrid species of Bermuda. I
Yeah.
see that
Sorry,
a
one more
lot.
time. Oh, you do? Okay, I'm with you now. I'm with you.
what we have, and what we'll see here, just mainly dealing with zoysia, is that we'll get um, when our cool season grasses are trying to shut down in July and end of June through July and into early part of August, then the zoysia will start to spread and take over. Can be.
And that's what a lot of common Bermuda does here too, especially along the edges, the hot spots.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, yeah, that's what we deal with here too. So, um,
Ours common Bermuda. Yours is Zoysia.
oh, oh, we're getting an invasion of guests tonight.
You're welcome. Surprise.
So,
We got canceled, so all the pros come out.
who got canceled?
I said, we got canceled, so all the
Oh,
pros
we
come
got
out.
yeah, we got. Yeah, so we have Jay Bart on the stream tonight. Hey, oh, he's muted. So,
Oh,
busy
good.
can't
Go ahead and talk shit about him.
text, and Jay Bart can't talk. So,
Yeah, BB start talking shit before he on you. Get them while they're down.
he's trying.
Do you need IT support? Apparently he does.
Nope, nothing. Nope. um, so Zach, a few of the discussions that I've had with people tonight, just even off this um, stream, is discussions on prepayments and billing and customers and stuff. What do you guys use for your? Do you offer a prepaid discount, or do
I
you?
do. I do. I
You
won't.
do?
You sometimes on like 5 or 6 program, I'll sometimes offer 7 to 10%. Anything under 4, I won't even offer it. So
Mhm. Okay, I got you. Yeah, and I offer a 7% off the season. I also do provide a little bit of a senior discount, which people kind of gravitate towards?
Inflate the price by 20%, drop it 15, and say, "Hey, you're getting one hell of a deal."
The Macy's scam, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the JCPenney's.
The JCPenney, yeah.
Or what we have here in Utah, they're really promoting on TV is all these commercial HVAC guys that are, hey, if you buy a brand new furnace, we'll throw in a hot water heater, a tankless hot water heater. We'll throw in a water softener for free.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, how much is that furnace going to cost?
So what's the price of that?
Of the hot water heater or the?
No, the whole thing, like throwing in the water softener and all that. What do they give you the quote as?
I've priced them here at my house at least one or two. I think if I did the tankless when he could do the water softener, I think I'm for the water softener about $1,000 all installed in a high end, high quality water softener.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because I got one at my house,
Mm-hmm.
and I done it myself, and it cost me about that. And then my water heater cost me about $2,900.
Your tankless?
Yeah, but it's commercial grade. I think it's like 11 or 15 gallons per minute.
What brand is it? Do you remember?
The Norwitz.
Norwitz. Yeah, that's what I've been looking at too.
Yeah, that's what I had one here originally when I bought the house. I was like, yeah, we're gonna go back to this, and I'm gonna buy the biggest, baddest motherfucker I can.
That's BB, so he can fill all his tanks with hot water when he needs to when it's butt ass cold in the morning.
Yeah.
No, I'll fill it with cold water in the morning. I'll fill it with hot water whenever I want to wash my car.
There you go. Good. Yeah. So, Mike, I know that we discussed a little bit earlier on that, but I wanted to get your take on renewals and stuff too. So, do you offer any prepaid discount or anything like that?
Yeah, I offer what is it, like 7% discount, 7 to 10, depending on the property and what all you have going for you.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just like spraying, it's roughly about a 5% discount. If it's full service, everything like mulch, rock, stone,
Okay.
weekly services, everything like that, yeah, I'll go up to like a 10% discount
Yeah. Do you? Mm-hmm.
if you
Makes sense.
prepay for the year.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're not going to do that as you. So, Jay Bart, welcome.
What's up? Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Huh?
I was muted. Shut up, dude. I will cut you. I will come down, dude. You're an hour and a half away from me, and I will cut you. I'll make the trip tonight.
Drive that Steel Green down here.
Dude, I'll drive it. Hey Brent, how are you? And Zach, how are you?
Last time
Good.
I need some pellets. I'm good. How you doing, Jay Bart?
Doing just fine. Doing just fine. Brent was gonna ask me something before Busy started talking shit. So
What else is new?
well, talk shit all day, but we got to back it up at some point in time.
So Jay Bart, have you started your season? How things are going?
Things are going great here. Everyone's happy here in the Charlotte area in the March, April, May, June timeframe. Only thing people bitch about is cutting the grass too much, which is a good problem to have. It means I'm doing my job right for my customers that I contract for. If they pay for it appropriately, and it's in their contract, they're getting PGRs now.
Good.
And so to help the grass cutters out and to store some carbohydrates for summer. But I've been listening to your conversation, and I don't have too much time because I got a baby. So I got to go say goodnight to. But the biggest thing I found in this industry is the clear expectation.
Hmm.
from the get-go, and then reminding of clear expectations, as well as a customer portfolio. So I know it's very difficult to do for like large-scale accounts and stuff like that,
Hmm.
but we're seriously talking about uploading a picture
Sure.
into an internet file. And
Hmm.
like I was saying in the chat a little bit earlier, a short-sighted customer is racist at best, is the worst customer you can have.
Hmm.
And all you do is to these guys is you, if I have a customer and they're with me 1 year and their yard is absolute garbage and I get it looking nice, and then they're starting to pick at me about a little bit of henbit here in March,
Sure.
that's like the easiest thing to treat, and that's all they can find. I said this customer isn't worth
Yeah.
isn't worth me having and the headache, because if they're complaining about henbit in March, then um, they're going to complain to me about many other things, and then you
Sure.
know offering the packages and stuff like that.
Hmm.
We offer, um, like I think all of us offer, like I know at least me and Busy do, like POA control.
Sure. Yep.
We offer, like, every customer has the opportunity to say, hey, I don't want POA in my yard.
Hmm.
Um, Now, do they want to spend their money on that at Christmas time and Thanksgiving when they're having all their friends and family in and have a whole lot going out? Maybe not.
Right.
But I offer it.
Sure. It's available.
So, and I offer it to them every year. So when they say no, and then they have POA, I say, I'm sorry, dude. Like, this is on you, and then this is where we keep, you know, receipts of conversations. So this is where we have follow-up texts and follow-up emails. As a
Hmm.
professional, if someone calls me on the phone and talks to me on the phone for 30 minutes about their POA,
Right.
I send them an email, I send them a text and say, hey, um, just want to reach back out about what was going on with your yard with the POA and the conversation that we had about it. Like, do you want this? Do you want this? I'm looking at Busy's text.
Oh yeah, the private message. Currently he's having a fight with the
So,
domesticated animal. So
yeah,
Yeah.
it's had one or two Michelobs too many today because he's on a high horse today. He's killing it this week. Um, but make it like I always have paper trail, because like the biggest fuck you, if you don't mind my language, to a customer is when they bitch at you about something that you've offered them and told them they need,
sure. Yeah.
and
Right.
then they say no, and you say okay, and then they call you later and say, hey, why does my yard have, for example, hello Dave, I see that you are having very young germination of POA. Now
Hmm.
might be the best time for us to treat this. If we can get this treated now, it will not be an issue.
Sure.
Um, Here's my prices. I think we can get this done in 3 applications. Your upcharge on your standard application would be this much, or on your standard payment would be this much. $60, $50, whatever. No, I don't want to spend that. I don't think it's going to be a problem. 3 months later, hey John, what is this weed? That is
Yeah.
POA annua, and as I discussed 3 months ago, we should have been treating this. You decided not to. Well, what can we do about it now? You can't.
Yeah.
Um, Period.
Go
Sure.
go buy you the grandpa's weeder and start pulling it out yourself.
Um, I'm, I'm, I'm sorry that your infestation got this bad. Typically, it's residual. Do you think it was in the grass seed? No, I still have the labels of the grass seed that I sent you and that you agreed to. It has 0% weed seed, 0% inert matter, 0% or 0.01% other crop seed. The POA more than likely did not come from that. It was residing in the soil. Would you like me to treat your yard for your other weeds?
Yeah, and I think what I mean.
I mean, and when you show them that text and you show them that email,
Yeah.
it shuts them up real quick, and
Sure.
it's that
Yeah.
expectation from the get go. It's a CMA, cover my ass.
Right. Yeah. No,
You're
definitely,
not,
you're absolutely right.
you're not
And then,
gonna you're not gonna bitch at me about your negligence. I'm sorry.
well, I mean, that kind of gets back to like what this kind of episode kind of started out to being is like we get fired for the customer deciding not to water the lawn, right? So, I mean,
And this is something I don't know if you guys have it in your contract, but I can only get it's dialed into my contract that my contracts are for 12 months. Period. There's no firing me without. I've never used it, but that there can be recourse. You know what I mean? Like if someone hires me in June, July, and August, and I go out there and I dump out a bunch of fungicide and insecticide,
sure.
and then they fire me and they go with the Chuckle F in the truck to do all the rest of this stuff. Well, I have a problem with that because I'm like they're paying for that fungicide across a year. You know
Oh,
what
sure.
I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
So like I have to chase that now. If they hire me, which I try to get most of my customers to sign me on right after aeration and seeding, they sign me on there and they decide to let me go at some time in the month or sometime in the year. Typically, I'm not out that much on the property.
Sure.
That's another thing is factoring in your contracts. Like, hey, you can't just fire me because of your negligence. Because I can't quit you because of mine. If I ruin your yard, I have to fix your yard.
Sure. Yeah.
If you take food out of my son's mouth, I've fought people for less. So,
Mike, do you offer contracts or do you do just give them the schedule and there's a prepayment or
I don't know.
Both.
These damn rednecks, man, they don't have contracts. They can barely read and write.
I'm just an hour south from you. Don't make me drive up.
Come on.
They can't even spell the word contract.
Zach, what about you? Do you do contracts?
It's just like convict, but it's like track instead.
I do.
So
You
what do your contracts look like? Do you have a firm you have a firm time where you sign contracts only, and then like for me, like I sign contracts from August to September, and then all the rest, any contract that comes there in between, is like a referral contract, and it's like prorated and stuff like that.
Was that to me or was that?
That was to Zach. Trying to see what his contract deal looks like.
Maybe
No, so what I do, anything after June or July, because I'll be getting down to 2 or 3 apps. You know, I'll commit them to those 2 or 3. Does that make sense? But I also will give them their expectations, what to expect with not being on the yard before.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
We all know that Busy didn't answer that question, so. he doesn't.
Now, Jay Bart, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
There, I answered it.
Now, I know you use a lot of cutters because you don't really cut yourself. Are you?
Am I what?
Before I got rudely interrupted by BB, I was just going to ask you: do you bill? Do the cutters bill through? Do your cutters that you contract with subcontract? Does the billing go through you, or do they bill the customer directly?
Both ways. The easiest way that my customers like is that I send them an invoice and then I pay off my grass cutters. I buy my grass cutters typically monthly, and as soon as they lose my expectation, then they get dumped, and I find a different grass cutter. That's simple as it is. But I do have customers that want to pay separate bills, and they're more comfortable paying separate bills, and I leave that up to them. And honestly, I enjoy it because I don't have to source a grass cutter if they're not reaching the expectation that I want. So some people don't mind having Jimmy Bob with his Cub Cadet zero turn somehow rolled up in the back of an F-150, and a weed eater and a handheld leaf blower coming and cutting the grass. Some people don't mind that, and I don't care either, as long as it's cut at the proper height. And when I need it, I don't care. But it seems like recently the most successful accounts that I've had have been the ones that I've had full control over the grass cutters, and saying like, hey, we're not cutting grass at this height this time of year. We're not doing this. This is unacceptable. But when you do that, you get more phone calls from the customer themselves, and that's typically a bad thing. Me personally, when I bill them, I don't want to be liable because I'm heading out there every other week as a ride-by or application. So 1 week, every 2 weeks, they're getting a ride-by, and then the next 2 weeks, they're getting an app. So I'm heading out there pretty much once a month-ish, or well, twice a month-ish. So when I'm getting phone calls about grass clippings on the driveway, that's a waste of my time, and I get pissed about it. So that being said, I kind of forget the direction of the question, but it's more or less you have to figure out what's right for your business. Are you an all app guy or are you an all grass cutter guy, Zach? Or all app or app and grass cutting?
I'm all app. I've done the maintenance in the past, but no, I'm all app, and I kind of like you. If people are looking for a cutter, I've done both ways.
You're breaking up really bad, Zach.
Zach, you broke up a little bit.
No, sorry, Jay. I'm kind of like you. I'm an all app guy, but when customers are looking for cutters, I'll refer them to one or two of my guys, and I've done it both ways. I've billed it through me, and some of my customers like working directly with the cutter. So I've done it both ways as well.
Well, which one?
Curious what you were doing.
Which one do you like more?
When it's a commercial property, I like having the full control, right? But then when I've had that on a residential, I'm kind of like you, and I just do, I'm their name number one contact, but when there's something wrong with their, I still hear about it. So I got to pay. I end up playing the middleman.
And there's true, and there's one thing that I've, regardless of who is cutting my accounts, whether it's a guy who I trust and know he's going to do it right and don't have to reach out to all the time, or whether it's because I've had, like I said, I pay these guys month to month, they know they're getting paid month to month. And what I have found is that they're not like the guys who I hire. They're doing it. They're meeting and exceeding my expectations. Um, but on the accounts that I don't control the cuts on, I have those grass cutters' phone numbers. I have the manager's phone numbers who hired me, and I say, hey, dude, like, make a note. Don't don't cut this fescue at 3¼ inches right now. You just sheared off half the plant. Now recovery is going to be worse. Hey, dude, why aren't you sharpening your blades? Which typically the people who hire me are not standard grass cutters, if you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
they're looking for something different. Because we can honestly, and I'll say it, and I think we all know, Busy knows this, and I think Western Mass knows this. I know it doesn't matter, but stripes sell lawns.
In a
So
fucking heartbeat.
so I want good grass cutters, and my name will not be associated with a bad one. So if I
Not
if
Jay
I
Bart, to interrupt on that one, not only
Mhm.
stripes, zigzags, diagonals, cross cuts, you name it, you
Adrian,
can do it.
straight driveways, straight lines. That's all that matters. Straight lines.
Oh, straight hard edge.
And
Straight
it's straight edging too.
Yeah, straight lines sell properties. My good work, all the work that I do, means nothing if I have a guy come in with his Husqvarna lawn tractor rolled up on a 4x6 trailer, and which we all have our start, rolled up on a 4x6 trailer with God knows what else on it, and then he's going and cutting my nice lawns that I've been working hard on, taking soil samples on, speaking with the customer on, getting fertility right, and then they come in and just chop it down. So those people I have learned never called me because they're already too ignorant in the industry to reach out for help when they need it. The guys who typically call me are guys who are trying to cut the right height, and they can't figure out the NP and K and the micro and macronutrients, which I'm a numbers guy, so it's easy for me.
Well, except for that one day you and me were on the phone and we were both mentally exhausted.
Oh yeah, we were drunk as hell.
No, last week.
Yeah, you were drunk as hell.
Yeah, probably.
Oh well, probably. Who knows?
Which one? Which time?
No, when I was sitting there like doing my lime calculations, I was like, look, this math just ain't fucking adding up. And I was
True.
just so burnt out.
And I was burnt out. Yeah, we were both burnt out there, and we ended up coming to a conclusion that they were right. They were right on their lime calculation. That's what I came to because I sat there for a while and I was like, no, that's right. It's still 30 pounds. It was still 30 pounds per thousand, not 300 pounds.
Yeah.
That's what happens. What happens when you go from when you do your calculations from thousands to 10,000s. So it gets to move a decimal. Either way, yeah, and it seems like you, Zach, like as long as your referrals are good and the people who are calling you are good, and you have the contact information of the
Hang
people
on,
who are
y'all.
cutting
Zach,
grass.
they're letting my Black Hawk.
Your ADD busy.
No, dead ass serious. There's like 3 Black Hawks going down the fucking goddamn, like, right over my house right now.
Yeah, they're coming to get you.
Probably. EPA or ATF?
Keep your mouth shut, BB, for once.
No. Knowing you busy is probably the EPA.
So,
But
so yeah, Jay Bart, that was something that we talked about here when you were on the show last time, right? Is that you want to be in really tight contact with anybody else on the property, right? That's pretty important.
yeah,
One of the things that I had a problem with last year is I had maybe 20 or 25 accounts flood my service because I had a lawn mowing guy just give out my name to all of his customers without my consent, I guess. So it put a real strain on my business and my equipment, and I got to the point where I had to stop taking on more customers. It was like I they would call me up, and I'd be like, Mrs. Smith, I really appreciate you giving us a chance here, but we're fully booked. I'm sorry. Like, we strive to create a great customer experience with all of our customers, and right now, I can possibly give you an estimate for next season, or call us during the winter if things don't work out with somebody else. So um, that's where I
um,
was at last year. It's a weird place to be in, but I mean,
no, it's a beautiful place to be in, and I see myself doing that more and more as I grow in this industry. Is people people call me people call me all the time, and they want me to start handling their fescue lawn in July, and I just refuse.
yeah.
And then I also
Well,
I
honestly,
stick
that'd be a great time.
I I stick to routes. Well, yes, I'll pick them up in August because I
No,
can do
July
cleanups and
July
stuff
would
like.
be perfect because you're about to start aeration overseeing August, September, October.
Right, but it's tough to explain to a customer who wants instant results, and I think we're all there. We all know those customers, the ones who call you who haven't done a thing to their lawn up
Mhm.
to the point that they call you. Um,
That's when you pull
and you know,
that BBC, lay it on the counter, and say, "Look, here, it's my way, or I'm not going to do this."
damn, that's a lot of sand. That's a lot of sand. Um, but like, don't call me then because I'm going to say, hey, call me in late August, September. Now, and we'll get this squared away. But I had one of the guys who I contract for who does grass cutting and installs. Um, he called me and he gave me like 20 accounts, and I had to tell him like 45% of these accounts are out of my route, so I'm not
Sure.
even going to go look at them and give you a quote on them.
Yeah.
The other 45, you're going to lose half of them because they're like I went and looked at account, and I was speaking with Busy earlier today with another friend of mine, Cam. If he's on here, shout out Cam. We went and looked at it. And this guy had like a 30,000 square foot front yard. The entire
Okay.
front yard was a 45-degree incline.
Okay. Hmm.
I can't get a piece of machinery on there.
Hmm.
I am not going to walk that with the hose in. No, sure as hell I'm not going to backpack that. So I'm going to pick. So I tell these people um, who send me all these accounts, I say, you're not going to get all of them if you give me this entire list. I'll go look at half of them, but I'm going to pick the ones that I want that I can manage properly. And oftentimes, in this industry, when we get on Discord and we talk and discuss, we always talk about our problems. You know what I mean? That's one thing we do. Hey, I dealt with this customer. Hey, I dealt with this. But I think oftentimes in this industry, we really forget about. And this is where Brent is really encouraging to me. Super positive guy. Like, got got fired, and it's like, hey, we can just part separate ways, and that's okay. And but it still hurts to get fired. Um, but that's part of this industry is that there's plenty of grass to go around. There's plenty of people to do it.
Sure.
So I called the guy and I was like, hey, this house, this 45-degree incline, that if it was a 20-degree incline or a 30-degree incline, I would have ate it up. I would have said, sure, I'll take care of it. But what I said is, I was like, hey, man, probably need to call Weed Man.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, like, call them because they're going to have a guy come out there for $17 an hour and he'll walk up and down that hill all day long. His paycheck doesn't change based on the amount of properties he does.
Right.
You know what I mean? Well, kind of, but
It does.
the majority, yeah. So
it's going to take them significantly longer time to complete that property than a property the same size that's flat. I'll tell you that right now.
yes, not that I turned it down, and that's just part of it. Is picking the properties that best fit your market and your contract and what you're wanting to do. If you're really wanting this, if you're really wanting pristine lawn care to be associated with your name, when people call you and they try to give you absolute shit, and you don't think there's any recovery for the absolute shit, there's no shame in saying no.
Sure. Yeah.
And it took me a few years to figure that out. You know, where you sit there and you struggle on these properties, and then you can't figure out what's going on with them, and then you start picking up cutting these properties because you don't trust any grass cutter on them from there on out, and then next thing you know, like, you're just, you know, because surprisingly to some people, I grow fine fescue down here, and it's and very successful from what I see, but you don't cut it.
Right.
You leave it alone. And it's tough to explain that to a grass cutter who's just out there willy-nilly cutting grass, and he's like, oh, I better hit this patch too, and then he runs over it one time and nothing comes off, so he drops the deck, and then next thing you know, you have Scout Fine Fescue.
Yeah, and the wonderful nature of pine fescue is it's one of the slowest growing grasses that there is too. So if you're expecting a recovery from something like that, expect longer.
and here in the transition zone, it doesn't recover.
Yeah, right.
So like, and then you're explaining to a customer, hey, I contracted this out. I'm reading Ray's chat.
Oh yeah, Ray says pine fescue and rotary mowers ends badly for sure.
That's the nature of the beast, Ray.
On that, gentlemen, we've gone over an hour. We're closer to an hour and a half. But I'd like to thank everybody for joining me tonight. Jay Bart, always a pleasure to see you. You're welcome to come on anytime.
Hey man, I'm always good for a guest appearance. Talk crap, like I said. Zach didn't mean to step on your feet at all, man. Busy sent me a text, and Brent sent you a text at the same time. But yeah, I'm here for Carolina cool season, man.
There you go.
And what's the saying?
Huh?
And what's the saying?
If you're not running Quinn Clorac and Carolina cool season, then fuck you.
Zach,
we got a good t-shirt made now.
Thanks for coming on tonight, Zach. I appreciate it. We'll definitely have you on again. We can I really want to dive into some of the execution of your business as well, and how you do that. So, Zach, thanks for being here tonight. Appreciate it.
No problem. We'll stay in touch.
Fantastic. Busy. Thanks again. I'm sure I'll talk to you again very soon. And that's it for tonight. Everyone at home that's watching, don't forget to leave a like, and so we can continue this journey to improve lawns across the country, even though it's originating out of Western Massachusetts. Anyway, Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Hey, Brent, before we go,
Okay.
we get what 500 subscribers. We'll buy the body cams and actually start posting those videos.
There we go. All right. If we get to
Tell all
500,
your friends.
there you go. So, okay. Thanks. Take care, everyone. Have a great night.